Okay, so welcome to part 7 of my InflationRPG full game guide. That, 7, is the funny IRPG number for reasons that I am just not even going to try to start explaining in this video. But yeah, part 7. So this is going to be the simplest part of the series yet, at least in terms of just how much stuff, like how much different stuff there is to do. This is probably not the shortest notepad yet, but really it's just this. Although the stuff to be done in this video is very likely to take longer than any of the previous stuff. The game is just getting more difficult. I mean, we're getting through it, right? We're like actually most of the way through the game at this point, kind of. So the last part, the last part of the guide series was getting 37 weapons to unlock white bonus area, getting stat point crystal from white bonus area, and then getting some XP plus 3 and 4 gems. So essentially just making your XP set really good and cool. So the only thing to go for in this video is Light+1 gear. Maze Dragons in HM drop them, and the stats are just here. So do note that these are screenshots I just took from my main save. So I have gyps of each. I've just kind of naturally got those, you know, while just doing a trillion endgame runs. Ignore the numbers in blue. Those are just stat boosts from having gyps of them. So you're just looking at the white numbers here. I've got the plus zeros in because why not? I'll just leave that there for a minute. I'll close it soon. But yeah, there are a couple optional things to go for as well, alongside Light+1s. Once you already have at least one of them. But I'll explain that later. There's one thing here that's kind of optional, but you're probably gonna go for it anyway. Also, you could have had options on option 3 for the entirety of the last video because it was all in NM. Everything that you had to fight in that video was basically unable to put up a fight, but obviously we're back in HM and we're going farther into the game than we were before to farm stuff. So yeah, make sure you're using your stat points. So I'm just gonna take a run to demonstrate the Light+1 farm run. You might notice I've skipped Sphinx. That's because he takes time to get to. I'm not going to be skipping every optional boss, but because I can just go straight up and straight through Panda, yeah, that's what I'm doing instead. So HM should be a lot easier now with your Light+1 gear that you probably haven't really touched HM since getting, and also with the whole stuff on your XP set. Oh, that's a run set random. And, oh, okay. I was gonna see if I actually, you know, fully out-healed him, but I'm fine. So, obviously that's a run set encounter, which isn't something you really want now that you have stat point crystal, but don't try to go way out of your way to, like, avoid ever getting them or anything. That's not something you can realistically do. I'm just gonna take on Thunder here. Is this fine? Yes, it is. I heal back everything I'm hit for on every turn, so... Oh, okay. That's really rare. Don't expect that to just randomly happen to you, but I'm gonna make a small luck set with that. Just kind of improvised. Because that does give 50,000 luck, which is pretty nice. Like, it's more than even hero gems give. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of this part of the video is going to end up being skippable, but I am going to say some kind of important stuff when I get to Orochi. I should be fine, so I'm going to kill Fire Goddess and then just start moving because Ice takes a bit to get to and then takes a bit longer to get back to middle, whatever. Yeah, basically the way to make these runs fast, and you still do want to make them fast, you don't care about having a trillion luck, as long as you're, you know, using a set with hero gems, or if you have luck 5s, also use luck 5s, because that's a pretty decent amount. It'll actually give you a decent drop rate boost. This should be fine, I think. Yeah, so I'm taking like 80k damage. I'm actually not fully out healing, so I should probably... Oh, I'm pretty close. Like, that fight was entirely safe. Oh my god, my tummy's going. I'm hungry. So I'm gonna fight in here. Yeah, I'm fine in here. So yeah, these runs will probably take a bit, because although you're not getting that far into the game, hard mode is hard. Like, the target bosses aren't, you know, something you can just boss rush until, not even close. And in fact, this will be unless you just did a push run on your own time. This will be the first time killing hard mode black equilibrium, or hard mode purple equilibrium, or hard mode Orochi, or really any boss. Below, or any boss past 10k zone. Since, yeah, haven't really gotten past that yet. Or had, a reason to, but now we do. So I'm gonna go into 20k. No, this might be risky, I don't think it is. So you definitely do want to kill Orochi in these runs. For a couple of reasons. Firstly, Orochi gives a whole lot of XP. Mia's actually does not give very good XP. It's pretty bad for that, just in general. So this, the Orochi 20k zone that is higher XP than the other 20k zones is going to be a pretty good place to level farm anyway, even for all the way up to dragons. And then you're going to get a lot of levels just by XP setting Orochi. And also, there's the chance, whenever you kill him, even in HM, to pick up one of the XP4s that you're still missing. If you have any missing, you probably do. Getting like 3 of them and only having 1 XP plus 3 is pretty insane. But yeah, any XP gems you're still missing, you could get on any one of these runs, plus the XP is just worth it anyway. So yeah, I'm just kind of waiting until I think I'm ready to take him on. And obviously, he has pretty similar stats to me as dragons in HM, same as in NM, so if you could XP set him, then you're more than ready to XP set dragons. Although again, if you have any like luck plus 5s, you might want to just make a quick luck set with those. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna take what I call a calculated risk and what you will call stupid when I get 3-shot. Oh, never mind. I do have the money for a cash recovery, and I'm gonna use it. Alright, this is on triple XP, so he won't normally give as much as he would like to, but look at this. Just look at that. I just gained 26,000 levels. You know how some ads, like, some of the screenshots for this game on the store pages are like, gain 100 levels in one fight. I just gained 26,000, and I'm not even close to the end of the game. So that's awesome. That just means, really, that Mia's dragons are going to be totally free to kill. I mean, yeah. Like, I killed something about as strong as them, although I did need a cash recovery. There's a base level. And I gained about a third of the level I had when I killed him. So if you don't remember Mia spawns for whatever reason, this one, the left 2 cells are the same zone, top right and bottom right are the same zone. This is the best spawn. This is the closest one to the center. You'll know because we're about to be at the center real fast unless I get a random before I get there. So another thing to note, obviously this is Naomi's, this is where we're killing the target bosses at. Red Eyes is actually closest, is actually the closer Mia's dragon from all 4 spawns. Even though that might seem like it can't be right, because there are, I mean, like there's the spawn that comes into center from the upper left, right, and obviously the start of Green Eye's path is closer. But I mean, basically Red Eyes is closer from every spawn because, well, shorter path. So even on the spawns where Green Eye's path is closer, the actual path length makes a difference. And also, he's just the easier boss to beat anyway. So I'm gonna leave this as my boss set and only use this for bosses that are actually tough to kill from now on. These guys aren't tough to kill; they just take stats. So I'm gonna just quickly set up luck set here. I mean, first thing off the top of my head is this, and then hero gems can go in here. What am I gonna put in the 2-star slots? I suppose luck 5 since it. What the hell? Luck 5 since it's 2 stars, and crit damage rings don't fit in here, do they? No, not. First crit would, but that doesn't matter. God of War. And then really this can just be whatever. At this point a stat set should be fine. Essentially just with all your, best items for raw stats. But I don't even have very many of those, so I'll just go for 2 crit and a couple crit damages now. So now I have 150k luck instead of like 80k. It would be a decent bit more if I had the last hero gem, but anyway, let's fight the boss. So yeah, he's not dealing that much to me. I still heal back almost all I'm hit for. even with like critting. And yeah, that's him. So Red Eyes drops Red Light Sword +1 and Light Armor +1. So both dragons drop Light Armor +1. And based on the color of their eyes, they each have a sword that only they drop. I mean, yeah, that was Red Eyes, so he drops the red one. Now, Green Light Sword +1 is better in the long run because, well, I mean, it has 60% more attack. Percent is, you know, too important to, you know, be offset by, like, even that much attack. Or that much flat attack. But red is still fine because 140k is actually quite a lot. So it's still fine for this whole part of the game. Although, eventually you will want to have green, unless you get something that I'll go into in the next video that you can very easily get from having Red Light Sword +1. So, now I have killed both of the dragons. I'm not going to reset this run because, well, I got a luck +5 and I made a luck set, and if I reset it would, well, I'd lose the luck +5 and I'd have, you know, an empty set 4 again. I'm gonna kill yellow really quick just to get the base level. I'm also gonna get all the way into HM Heaven in this video, although it's not gonna be, you know, that's not gonna be important to the actual farming here. So I'm just gonna go into Maze Escape now. Now I'm about to go into Maze Escape. Maze Escape is, I'm gonna close these now. Maze Escape is hard. There's base level 13. So if I take a fight in like the second zone here, Maze Escape in HM is hard, that is. If I take a fight in even like this second zone, I'm taking more damage than I'm healing back. So yeah, it's hard. So don't bother trying to farm stuff from later on before you have at least one piece of Light 1 gear. But speaking of one piece of Light 1 gear, watch this. I'm gonna have one in like 5 seconds or what? This is crazy. Alright, so I have gotten a piece of Light 1 gear. I've gotten Light Armor +1, so that's actually a pretty big upgrade, or a pretty, well, it's not huge, but it's a pretty decent upgrade over Light Armor +1. I did check at the start of this run, because I, you know, finished out the run where I got it, and then started this one. I checked at the start of this run, and it's, I mean, 100% extra defense is so much, and, you know, stuff like these things give enough defense that it's already just as good as Night Armor +1 at the very start of a run, and at the very start of a run, it doesn't really matter how good your weapon and armor are, because everything just kind of melts. Once you have some stat points, it's already better, so really it's pretty much a straight upgrade. So I've got that in all my sets, and now I'm gonna mention a couple things that you can like kind of extend your runs to doing once you have at least one piece of Light 1 gear. Wow, there is really something on my throat. So yeah, you can kill Rainbow HM, or not even can, I'd say you should. Like, I would definitely advise doing this in your runs once you have a piece of Light 1 gear already. So what Rainbow and HM drops is Hero Gem +1 and Hero Gem +2. Hero Gem +1 gives 60k of every stat. Hero Gem +2 gives 120k. So it's like having 2 HGs in one slot for HG1, or for HG2 it's like having 4 in one slot. That's actually really huge. Yeah, as I've gotten the notepad here, I would really recommend just starting to farm these as soon as you have any piece of Light 1 gear. Like, any of them will make it a lot easier. Especially because it's gonna be pretty much the entire content of Part 8. And there's also a little bit of extra stuff you can do here if you go through Rainbow and you didn't get anything and you have a decent amount of BP. You can just sit in heaven. So this mob, who drops Crystal Cape in normal mode, drops Crystal Cape +1 in hard mode, which is the stuff I'm about to mention isn't as good as Light 1's, but it is a decent substitute. So Crystal Cape +1 has 20k flat defense and 420%. Now Light Armor +1 is just better. Like, it just is. But Crystal Cape +1 is, if you happen to get it, it'll make, you know, Light 1 runs just a bit easier. Like, it's still better than 9 armor plus 1. And from here, same places, same two zones, you can get S-Talk plus 1 in normal mode. In hard mode, you can get S-Talk plus 2. Other than the like fire, ice, thunder, wind swords from goddesses, I'm pretty sure this is the only plus 2 weapon in the game, if I remember right. And yeah, also, be aware, the enemy that drops Crystal Kit plus 1 can also drop Crystal Kip, like in hard mode. So if you're in HM and you're there, and you know, get the right mob, you kill it, and it's like, you know, you get the white flash for a drop, don't think, okay, nice, I got the item, because you might get baited. Same here with S-Talk plus 2, they can drop S-Talk plus 1, even in hard mode. I really don't know why, like, it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty troll, that Tats, the dev, actually has that be a thing, but yeah. I did kill every boss in this run. You're not gonna end up with like 30 more BP coming into heaven, just because of like light armor plus 1. But it is, any piece of light 1 gear is still big enough to make these runs a lot, you know, a lot more doable, and in my opinion, make them actually worth doing. So yeah, I'm now just gonna skip to whenever I get either sword, and then wrap up the video, because that's kind of it. Okay, actually, I forgot to mention S-Talk plus 2 stats at all. It has 0 flat attack and 520%, so it only has 10 less percent than Green Light Sword plus 1, so it's actually a pretty decent substitute for, I mean, the whole way up until the next weapon upgrade. Yeah. Okay, now I'll have 2 light ones. Okay, so now I have a red light sword plus 1, and yeah, now I have, you know, a light sword plus 1, and I have light armor plus 1, so that's actually just this part of the series just done. The next part will be basically entirely about the farm I personally consider to be the hardest one in the entire game, just mentally. Because really, motivation is the main skill in this game. Just, you know, having the, like, want to just keep playing. Because if you don't want to play the game, then, I mean, you're not going to progress much. But yeah, so that is going to be about Hero Gem plus 1 and Hero Gem plus 2 from Rainbow HM. I'm not going to lie, or play around with words here. Most people that get this far do not get through this next farm. They just can't be bothered, and honestly nobody will blame you for just no longer wanting to play from this point forward. It can be worth, you know, thinking, is this game even worth playing? Like, am I still enjoying it? But on the other hand, a whole lot of people have gone through it, so, I mean, clearly it's possible. There's, you know, nothing seriously stopping people from getting through it other than just whether they want to play the game or not. But, I mean, that's just... This isn't a philosophy series, this is an IRPG guide, but we'll get there in the next video. So, yeah, I mean, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. There's nothing else really to add. Goodbye.